Hello, my loves. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. And good morning. I am recording this before I got to clock into work. I have like an hour or so. Yeah, but I may get interrupted because my son is getting ready for school. So hopefully he doesn't interrupt me, but I may have to get up for that. Okay, y'all. So as y'all see from the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about the power of letting go, the power of releasing. Now, those of you who follow me on my other channel, Zena Sessions, y'all know we have conversations about other people's experiences to see how we can learn from them. Yesterday, I just posted a video about a rapper's side chick who is allegedly blackmailing him and his family to stay quiet. And then we go in the depths of this being a triangle situation, each party in the situation, what to look out for, what you should stay away from, those things though. Okay, so if you're interested in that, that will be linked in the comments. That is on the Zena Sessions page. Okay, but today we are going to be talking about letting go and releasing, because even though I do have those conversations and I love having those conversations on my other channel, I want to get more in depth on this channel. I want to get more personal on this channel. And I really do want to give people the tools that I have learned to help me, to hopefully help you. Because I remember, especially when I was younger, I really wish the internet was like as popular as it was, as far as like social media, TikTok, YouTube, etc., so that I could have like those tips that I needed. Like, it's our job as the older generation to help the younger generations. And again, they have a lot of tools they can actually utilize. They can have a whole virtual mentor, big brother, big sister, when we just didn't have those things growing up. So we definitely should utilize any platforms we have to like help guide them. And even people our age and older, like, this advice is ageless. I'm just saying, okay? Now, if I look down, it's because there are certain things that I do want to address that I want to make sure I'm not forgetting. So this is on my other phone if I am looking down. Okay. So number one, before you even completely release somebody, completely break up with somebody, completely let go of somebody. Okay. Because as I said in my thumbnail, girl, sis, don't go into 2025 with that man, point blank, period. Okay. Now, this is not for anybody who is in a healthy relationship. Obviously, this is for those who this applied to. Okay. So, number one, before you do anything, okay, because some of us are impulsive. I've had impulsive ways as well. Before you do anything, access the whole situation. Okay. I had to go on a fast when I did this. And that's when I realized what I needed to do, because I'm a very spiritual person. And if you are spiritual as well, you might just need to go on a fast. You might need to pray about it. But before you do anything, access the whole situation. Like, okay, what benefits am I getting out of this relationship? Have I truly been the best partner that I can be? Is this relationship unhealthy? If there's any domestic violence in the relationship, point blank, period, let it go. Okay. I don't care what other perks you have in the relationship. If domestic violence is in the relationship, and I don't care if it's like physically, if it's mentally, emotionally, like, let it go. Let it go. Okay. I'm a stickler on that. Okay. But like, what benefits are you getting out of the relationship? Are you being the best person you can be? Is there any violence or abuse in the relationship? Are you the only one contributing to the relationship? This is a big one. Okay, this is a huge one. This is something that I had to deal with. Is there true balance in the relationship? Now, obviously, some people are going to be better than other people at certain things, but I mean, like, is there a balance in the relationship? Do you feel like you're giving way more than receiving? Do you guys have the same goals? Are you in alignment with each other? Because if you're somebody who, like, you know what, I want to get married next year, and they're like, I don't know if I ever want to get married, that's probably not a good option for you or a good choice for you, which is why we have to have these conversations up front before we even start getting close with people, especially before you procreate with somebody. Okay. So completely acknowledge the situation before you do anything, because you don't want to make a mistake if it's not something that should be happening. So before you do anything, Go to God. That's what I say, okay? Because I'm spiritual. So I would pray, go to God, meditate, do what you need to do to clear your head and really focus on, before I go into the new year, is this person serving me? Is this good for me? Okay. Now, obviously, if you have decided to stay, then you know what to do. Stay. But if you have realized, like, you know what? No, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is a repeating pattern. This is toxic. It's low vibrational. Like, I really need to get out of this. So go to the next step. Accept the situation for what it is. Now, some people get stuck in this step, right between step 1 and step 2. They get stuck here because they're like, well, you know, he's abusive, but he pays all the bills. He's a good father. You know, so maybe I shouldn't let go. Maybe I should. So people get kind of stuck in between step 1 and step 2 of accepting the situation for what it is. Don't get confused, okay? Accept the situation for what it is. Now, when I say that, that means if your man is a cheater, he is a cheater. Accept that situation. We have to stop as women trying to change men when they have already showed us who they are, what they are. So we have to stop trying to change who they are. And 9 times out of 10, before you put years in with this man, before you got married to this man, before you had children with this man, the red flags was there. And unfortunately, a lot of us women, especially in my community, don't have our fathers guiding us the right way when it comes to proper selection of who to procreate with, who to get married to, etc. So we go out on our own just trying to figure out who that person is without proper guidance, okay? But accept that situation for what it is. If that man is abusive, he's abusive. Even if that man gets help, even if he goes to counseling, it does not mean that that is going to change. That's only a small chance percentage that he might change going to counseling. But a lot of times they go right back. Why? Because they don't even acknowledge that they're the problem. They go into a whole, if they are abusive, they'll go into a whole pattern of like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again, I'll get help, blah, 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 you know, just to get you back in. And then they go right back to doing it. So it's your job and your responsibility to really accept the situation for what it is. Like, a mistake is once, which abuse is never okay. But I'm just saying, like, any other like mistake is once, okay? If it happens again, that is a choice. It's not a mistake. It means that they are doing it and they're getting over on you because they feel like they can get over on you. So again, you need to really assess your situation and look at it for what it is. Is this benefiting you or is it not? Is this person repeating the same mistakes or are they not? Is this a person who you can see yourself spending the rest of your life with or not? Is this somebody who you would want your children to date? If the answer is no, then you should know. And please realize, if you have children, they are studying your behavior constantly. Okay, so if this man is calling you all kind of names or putting his hands on you or treating you any kind of way, that is exactly how that man, how they are going to see a man loving them. They're like, oh, my mama stayed. Like, my mama got called this name. My mama was abused. Like, this is love. This is what I grew up around. So they will identify that as like, this is love. This is okay. Not everybody, obviously, not every single child, but I'm just saying a lot of times that stuff continues to happen, like generation after generation. Somebody has to break the generational curse. It says it ends here. So again, if this is a situation to where you're like, you know what, I don't want my children to see this, I don't want them to date this person, then you shouldn't be dating that person. Point blank, period. And on the other end, if you are a woman who you know you got problems, got issues, if you don't want your son dating a woman like you shouldn't be the woman that you are. You need to change into the woman that you need to be. Okay? So, again, accept the situation for what it is. That man's not changing. That man has showed you who he has been from day one. Stop trying to change it. Stop thinking that another year comes and he's going to change. A man changed because he wants to change. A lot of times they shouldn't even have to change. They should already know how to treat you, especially at a certain age, but he's only going to change if he wants to change. You cannot change that man. And they will change for the woman they want to change for. That's another thing to keep in mind. Okay. So again, accept the situation for what it is. Okay. Once you have accepted the situation for what it is, stand on that. And yes, I'm talking to you, because a lot of people will end the situation, but then go sneaking back. As soon as that person be like, oh, I'm sorry, let me take you out, I bought you these, come outside. As soon as that person do that, here you go. And I ain't judging, because I have been that person. So I'm not judging you. But just realize you are messing up the process. Like, they really ain't going to take you serious because you are accepting their bad behavior. So as soon as all they got to do is pull up with a little bit of money, or all they got to do is pull up and be like, let me take you out, or I'm sorry, if that's all it takes to get you back, then honey, they're going to continue to do the same thing, because they now know this is all I got to do to get her back. It works every single time. Okay? Like, you have to stand on that. Stand on you. You are important. You are that girl. You are that woman. Stand on you. Okay? Have confidence in you. You can get through this. He is not the only man out there. Like, you have to love yourself, which is the next thing I'm going to get into. But stand on you. Do not break. Block him. Block him. Stop going on his social media. Stop checking for him. Stop trying to figure out what he doing, what he got going on. Now, obviously, if you have children with somebody, then that situation is going to be different from somebody who doesn't have children with somebody. If you don't have children with somebody, block them. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to discuss. We're done. This is over. You can't be who I need you to be. So I accept you for who you are. Go play, go have fun, and I'm going to focus on me. Okay? But for those who have children with them, it might be a little different. You are going to have to set boundaries. So if you are ending things with a child father and he is already active in their life, you need to set boundaries. If they hit you up and the conversation is not strictly about the children, like, hey, can I come pick them up on Friday at 2:00? Okay, that's it. Or no, I got to do this. Can you pick them up this time? That's it. Hey, I got diapers. Can I drop them off? Okay, yes. That's it. Hey, I'm about to send you this money. Okay, that's it. Nothing else. Not low. Hey, I'm about to come over there. Like, I got you something. And can I stay tonight? Nothing that, hey, can I take you out? Nope. Oh, I want to take us and the kids somewhere. Nope. Boundaries. Once you are done, you are done. You have to set those boundaries, because you will get sucked right back in. And you can only blame you. If you get sucked back in and then the next month he do the same thing, the next month after that he do the same thing, like, you can only blame you, because what happens a lot of times is you get sucked back in, they say sorry, you believe them, right? And then next thing you know, you looking at yourself a year later and you in the exact same situation, like, dang, didn't we just have this conversation? Why am I still having this conversation with you? Stop texting other women. Stop doing this. You shouldn't be having those conversations. If he's not prioritizing you in your relationship, then you need to prioritize you. Okay? So, again, set those boundaries, okay? Stand on what you have said, or it's no point in doing this at all if you're not going to be serious and stand on what you said. All right? Focusing on you, loving you, self-care. Prioritize self-care. This is the number one step after you have ended a relationship. That is the introduction of the new you, the introduction of the boss you, the introduction of the level up you. Okay? There's so much power into loving you. And this is the foundation of everything in your new life. Love, friends, money, success. Loving you is the root work of that, okay? You have to think about it. When you did not love you and you allowed things in your life and accepted people and low vibrational things in your life, that's because you did not love you, okay? So anything in that low vibration of not loving you, not prioritizing you, is what you're going to attract. So once you do love you, the opposite has to happen. It has to. So once you love you, then you start to attract people who love you. You start to attract higher vibrational things like success and like more money and like positive people coming into your life. Because everybody who loves you, they love you because you love you. Now, when you don't love you, you attract other people who don't really love you, don't really respect you, don't truly care for you how they say they care for you, because their actions would show it. Okay. So put in that root work of loving you. What do I mean by that? That means, again, going back a step, standing on you, handling business. Don't allow anybody to come into your bubble and energy that's low vibrational, envious of you, jealous of you. And that's with friends and family too, okay, which I'm gonna do another video on that later on down the road. But don't let any low vibrational energy come around you. Don't let nobody play with you. Okay, you love you like nobody else has loved you. You got to stand on you. You got to be serious about you. Okay, and then people who you will start to attract will also have that same energy reflected back to you. Okay, so if there are things that you know you need to work on, you need to work on them. If you feel like you are really like, dang, you know what? I have trust issues because of my past relationships. I really have trust issues. This is the time to start. Go back to starting root work. Go back to starting shadow work. If you can go on Amazon, matter of fact, and type in the search bar shadow work or root work journal, and it'll have like these different journals, especially on TikTok. I did see one on TikTok as well that's really popular, to where it'll have these journal prompts to really help you dive into you. And it's not easy. Some of it might even make you cry, but that's where the healing starts. That's where the healing begins. That's where the new version of you begins. So you have to work on you. So whatever you need help with, you need to be realistic about yourself, because there's no point of you starting any of these steps if you're not being true to yourself, if you're not being realistic about yourself. So go ahead and peel back those ugly layers that you don't want nobody to see. What am I insecure about? What am I hurt about? There's a hole here. There's emptiness here. A lot of times with women, I talk about fatherless daughters. That's on my other channel, Zena Sessions. It's a whole series, part 3 of like fatherless daughters, growing up with fatherless daughters, how it creates an emptiness in a lot of women, and they don't know what this emptiness is, what this void is. The DNA of both the man and the woman is in the child. So if they're only having one part of their DNA in their life, they still naturally might feel a void. Like, where's this other part of me? Where's this other half of me? I feel half empty inside. Like, it's natural and it's common, you know? So if you are a fatherless daughter, or if you are a woman raising a fatherless daughter, definitely feel free to check that out. I have gotten good feedback on it. So, and I also wrote a book called Scars Daddy Left. So definitely feel free to check that out, because that is an important topic that we have to discuss from time to time. Okay. So again, go to that root work, go to that shadow work of like, what do I need to work on? What do I need to fix? Some of you guys might have to go to therapy. Some of you guys need to go on a spiritual cleanse. When's the last time you have been spiritually healthy? A lot of people focus on all this other healthy stuff like their physical health, but they're not focused on their spiritual health. They're not focused on their spiritual health. Like, when's the last time you prayed? When's the last time you meditated? When's the last time you went on a fast? You know, fasting has been very beneficial for me in my life. So you have to really start sacrificing as well for your spiritual health too. Like, I need to work on my spiritual health. Like, I haven't prayed in a while. I haven't did this in a while. Like, there are certain things that you have to do in this process of leveling up. Okay. So definitely work on things you need to work on. If you need to go back to therapy, go back to therapy. Again, uncover those layers that you don't want nobody to see, because then you can properly heal instead of cheating. Like, no, I don't want to look at that. That hurt me too bad. I don't want to go back to that. Like, no, go back to it so you can fix it, so you can attract better and heal properly. Otherwise, it's pointless, because you're going to repeat the same cycle. Okay. So fix you and the things that you need to fix. If you are eating unhealthy and you know you need to, like, you know, do better with your body physically, then start working out more, start eating a balanced diet. Like, you really have to put you first and look at every aspect of you. What can I do financially to make more money? Like, I'm struggling right now. I'm living paycheck to paycheck and I'm really struggling right now. Okay, what do I need to do? Do I need to go back to school? Do I need to get a certification? Do I need to do this? Like, this is a time for you. So focus on everything you need to focus on. That business that you have been wanting to start, why haven't you started it? You know, like, what resources do you need? If you need funding, where can I go to get funding? What can I do to build up my credit so I can get this business loan? Like, if you've been wanting to go back to college, what's stopping you from applying to college? You keep saying like, oh, I'm going to do it this year, I'm going to do it next year. Like, no, it's time to apply for that. What do you need to do to apply for that? Like, this is the time for you. Okay. So again, prioritize yourself. A lot of us put so much into other people, we don't put it into ourselves. So again, especially if you're a Virgo, okay, we all know how that goes. But again, prioritize yourself. This is a time for you and you alone. So focus on you, put your self-care first, put your self-love first, okay? Next, we'll talk about forgiveness. Okay, so after you have like went through these steps and you are working now on leveling up and building yourself up and doing things that you need to do for yourself, sometimes we just really still hold on to the pain of what we just went through. So this is not going to be a specific time frame for one person's situation. It's not everybody's situation. It might take you 6 months to move on. It might take you a year to move on. Shoot, it might take you 3 months if it was really toxic and you on the last strand. Like, it's different for different people. So I hate when people try to speak on other people moving on. Like, it's different for different people. However, I will say, don't cheat in this healing process. Don't just move on to the next person without truly healing, because then the only thing you're going to do is have hidden scars from the past relationship, and they're going to eventually come out some way, somewhere. Okay, so don't cheat with the healing process. Make sure you take this seriously. If you need to go to counseling, go to counseling. If you need to seek spiritual counsel, seek spiritual counsel. Go sit with your pastor, go on a fast, meditate, pray, all the stuff you need to do. Again, truly do it and make sure you are doing it right. Don't try to do it the cheating way. A lot of people will be like, oh, well, I'm just going to be with somebody else. And then they don't realize that's just creating more trauma after trauma. And then that's another way how you create trauma bonds, is because you don't heal properly by yourself like you need to, and you just jump to the next person. So that's just going to create turmoil in the long run. Make sure you heal the proper way. Okay. Another thing I do want to talk about is journaling. Like, I am a person who definitely loves journaling. I haven't been journaling as much as I want to, or I feel like I should, but it is very beneficial. So those of you who feel like this might help you in your healing process, definitely journal. Get you a spiritual journal. I have like this nice universal journal. It's really cute, y'all. Matter of fact, let me see. I'm gonna show y'all. Okay, y'all. This is my journal. Okay. This is my journal. It's like my spiritual journal. And I got this off of Amazon. This has changed the game. But basically, I just write out how I picture my life to be. And I can say that that has worked for me. Everything that I have wrote down in this journal has came true. But I am a manifester. I definitely believe in law of attraction. So that's another part of journaling. But, you know, I just write it out as I want it to be. So I'll write out like, hey, you know, my perfect person, this, like, when I meet this person, this is how it's going to be, blah, 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 right? And I have attracted that person in my life 7 months ago. I wrote down how I wanted to grow on YouTube, and then that happened on my other channel. It grew how I wrote it down to grow. Like journaling is definitely powerful, and it's so spiritual. And like when you're writing it down, you want to write it down as if the emotions of you already feeling that. So if you want to write down, hey, I want to make more money, then you need to write it down as how you would feel when you're making that money, So that's just another thing I did want to bring up, because that was a very beneficial tool in my healing process, was journaling. So if you feel like that will work for you, definitely feel free to do that as well. Okay. One of the last things I do want to talk about is your mind is powerful. Okay. Your mind is very powerful. So if you believe that things are not going to get better, then things are not probably going to get better. You have to have a positive outlook to know that everything you're doing is for a reason. A lot of people let fear hold them back from change. Like I am one of them. I stayed in a relationship that I knew was toxic. I knew was not good for each other, like for a long time, because first of all, I had children involved, married. And then I was afraid of change. I'm like, you know what? This person's the breadwinner. So like if I let go of them, then, I'm obviously going to be hit hard financially. And then I was just thinking about all kind of stuff like, oh my gosh, like what if this happens? What if that happens? This is the father of my kid. Like I don't know if I'm ready for this kind of change, then I'm going to be by myself. Like just thinking about all of this fear. These are low vibrations, by the way. These are low vibrational thoughts and thinking. But I had to shift my mindset, and I had to trust my intuition that you needed to leave this. This was unhealthy. You weren't happy in it. It was not satisfying. And like, it was a toxic, low vibrational situation. So sometimes you might have those low vibrational thoughts, but you need to remember the end goal. Remember that everything that you are wanting out of somebody, there's somebody out there who has it. So if you've been begging this man, like, hey, I really want to get married, there's a man out there who already wants to get married, who's just looking for his wife. And once you do the work, they already done that work, y'all will attract each other. So just remember, there is better out there. Like, don't go in this thinking like, oh, I'm never going to find anybody better. And don't let people tell you that as well, because they will tell you that just so you can stay with them. But go into this with a positive, high vibrational mindset that this is happening for a reason. Like, I'm being led to do this for a reason, and there is better out there for me. But again, this is only for unhealthy, low vibrational situations. If your relationship is healthy, you just have a little bit of problems, then you probably should just go to counseling, but it may not be worth letting go. You might have to do the old Tyler Perry, write down the good things versus the bad things. And if the bad things outweigh the good, then let them go. If the good outweigh the bad, then you might need to keep the relationship. So this is going to be a you decision. It's time for you to go back into you and to see if this is beneficial to you, or if this situation is no longer serving you. So I hope that this could help you. If you want to talk about more topics in relation to this, we can talk about this again. We can talk about other things. Just let me know in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I will see y'all in the next one.